I think we'll see a bit of a mix-up here. Stingray hovering over an interesting pick.
I'm curious about Crockie's Nash. Obviously, level 100. All these players know what they're doing.
Right.
I don't know. Because the spear has always been kind of a 50-50 in 2v2s, at least to me in this current meta. This is the first game, literally, that we have had, I would say, in the entirety of 2v2s, all regions, where there has not been a single gauntlet.
Yeah, actually, we've seen so many of them throughout the day. It's sometimes, three? Definitely 2, 3, or 4.
Multi-region, mind you.
Right. Across the world, the gauntlets are definitely making a statement, but this is the first time that we are truly without going into it here in game 1.
These two team comps right now are so old school. This is like, I'm getting like 2017, 2018 2v2s vibes. Axe, hammer, spear, lance. That's all you need.
I'm excited. It's some good old-fashioned Brawlhalla, some good old-fashioned neutral game here too, holding down the center stage. Cosolix with that lance. We've seen so many big plays come from that exact rocket lance right there. Trying to put the pressure on here. Okay, just splitting off into these two 1v1s. I like the Nash so far. Spear's not doing too hot, but definitely some good plays so far.
I just realized, and I want to apologize before everyone in Twitch chat. I'm sure they've already said something, but I said TruckStop bathroom because the B was cut off. And I was just thinking in my mind, oh, yeah, I can start making jokes about that. Believe me, I've been there too. But no, it's TruckStopBurrito. I want to make sure that I get the name right. TruckStopBurrito, also very delicious at times. Had one this morning. But what I've also had this morning were a few stock losses, and that's where Stingray and Cosolix are right now. The Ogrim Nash pick looking so great, but Macho Man does fall to the hands of Macho Man. It's up now to Crockie to be the last one. The hammer has yet to make a big appearance.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it later in the game, but right now has not done too much. Getting caught with the very last bit of that lingering hitbox of the signature. Going down 2 across the board right now. Scrapping over on the left side, but getting some weapons together. Going back to neutral.
There we go.
Okay.
Lance action for the ledge guard. I'm really loving how this is playing out here. Cosolix playing the patient game again, waiting for the prime point of entry. At this point, probably looking for a setup for the stock finisher here against Crockie and TruckStop, but again, not making much of an appearance just yet. Just evading everything. Prime place to strike. Crockie on the ledge guard, false step, the ground pound. Cosolix finds the setup.
Love that. Really good positioning, really good offense right now. Stingray still putting the pressure on 2. And Cosolix with some good pickups as well. Oh, okay. Straight hit there. But huge damage. And there it is, the dominating coming in.
Yeah, and this is off of a beginning where Stingray and Cosolix were on the back heel. They lost both of their first stocks simultaneously. TruckStop and Crockie held on to it for so long, but those second stocks were a poor performance. But Stingray and company, there is still that chance for them to turn it around against them. On that second stock, still Stingray holding the neutral game. Crockie up high into the sky, looking for the ledge guard. TruckStop forced then to play into the opener here for the setups, but not happening just yet. Crockie taking it slow, playing patient, does not want to lose this first stock, and Stingray now down to their finale.
Yeah, it was pretty rough. Stingray trying to be elusive and not take too much damage, but unfortunately, side effect was not being as impactful either, not landing those hits or the punishes. That team attack kind of ruining the momentum on the left side of the stage. Cosolix fighting back for a weapon, going to be the axe. And center stage, going to end up going to red team. Wow, good punish.
Crockie falls. TruckStopBurrito, the last one. Lance in hand, though. Easier said than done when you have probably the definitive. Someday when the Brawlhalla server shut down for the final time, probably known as the Lance player of all time, Cosolix, with the recovery! Outlancing Cosolix, sending them high into the sky! The ledge guard is there. The patience from Cosolix, not overextending, didn't want to put any risk on the Stingray. Red all over for this final stock. For everyone around, no lances left in contention, but Cosolix gets it back.
Wow.
Recovery sends Stingray into the blast zone, but not enough to confirm, but that's game number 1. A double turnaround from the red team. What seemed like a poor performance into, my God, just bringing it back home in what seemed like a dominant fashion.
Yeah, and it did look a little shaky, but it's only because Red Team didn't want to go for too much in that situation. And finally, we see Stingray right there wait out that defensive option and then punish. Really good stuff. Still keeping it close, all things considered, but Red Team looked a lot more comfortable in certain parts.
Yeah, I think a big factor here is that Crockie and Cosolix are playing very, very patient compared to their counterparts. And a lot of that has to do with the ledge guard setups, looking for those stock confirms, because they have that firepower behind them. Whereas necessarily the Bryn, maybe not so much. I mean, yeah, with Atlantis, with the TruckStopBurrito, you do. But TruckStop is there to gather the damage, set them up so Crockie can knock them down. And I think that was a big struggle for a while, was that we didn't see Stingray get those opportunities to set themselves up and gather that damage. But hopefully now we can see that momentum gathering from game 1 into game 2. I'm hoping to see a bit more of a step up here from Stingray. I'm sure we will. But it just comes down to this next game.
Yeah, I mean, it just was an issue of momentum, I guess you could say. Stingray just kind of got caught with high damage in certain spots, wasn't able to really be so impactful, just kind of trying to play a support role, which ended up working out. But this game may be a change of pace in that regard. We will see that offensive Stingray and Cosolix on the backup. But either way, I'm sure they feel pretty comfortable, and Blue Team definitely can make a couple of adjustments. All things considered, it was a pretty close game last game.
Oh, but this is such a great fiery turnaround from Red Team again. They're hot off the heels of winning game 1, but it was still a slow start from them. TruckStop already taking a majority of the damage here in these engagements. Anything now could take down this first stock within 30 seconds. Stingray looking for that ledge guard. Looking to be the finale here. Crockie recovery into the sky won't be enough just yet to send anyone down to stock number 2.
All right, looking to keep that vertical pressure up. Crockie looking really good with all of those recoveries. And TruckStop with a big hit, sending Stingray flying, but a miss on that follow-up. Going to be back to neutral here. Oh, wow. Good interruption from Stingray. That side air saving the day, if only for a little bit.
Crockie keeping things competitive here. Deep in red on that first stock, and Cosolix the victor. It's a small victory, but they haven't gone down just yet. Macho Man on Macho Man.
Those big victories are basically a collection of small victories.
True.
Honestly, Cosolix holding on to this stock is definitely one of the larger victories as time goes on. The more time goes, the better it gets. Oh, some big damage too with the Lance. Looking really good. Nice catch, and it keeps going too.
All I hear is Lance. All I hear are the thrusters of the Lance in my head. They're driving me insane, but what else is insane is that Crockie eliminates yet another. Cosolix finally loses that first stock. Neutral game handedly in the hands of Red Team. TruckStop is there with the Lance over Cosolix axe. Finding any sort of turnaround. Finding the aerial approach to take down Cosolix again and find that chip damage. Attempted gravity cancel. Neutral save doesn't amount to much. Crockie's there to lay some pressure down with the weapon throw. Stingray on the other side goes directly into the signature of Cosolix, their own teammate. Ledge guard on ledge guard. Crockie with the hammer. You don't want to be off stage against the hammer. Hey, Cosolix, we talked how victorious he was holding on to that first stock for so long. The first now down to their last.
Yeah, I think Cosolix may have been feeling it a little too much. I think we saw about 4 or 5 signatures come out and whiff, and unfortunately Crockie was ready for the punish. Cosolix may have to button it up a little bit and play a little more conservatively, not go for so many of those big swings, because we got a dominating.
Oh, but the setup from Cosolix is so good!
Never mind, yeah. Cosolix can keep going for whatever Cosolix wants to.
Wow! You know what we say back in the olden days? That was a holy moly moment. Cosolix, good lord. But now, every single player's off stage. Somehow through that skirmish, not a single player loses their final stock. And now Crockie into the sky. Could be good for the recovery. But no, doesn't capitalize on the amount of damage Cosolix has. There it is, Sider goes through. Stingray, the last survivor.
Okay, what can we do here? Big hit so far. Another one, not taking it though. Really good options here from Stingray, who for some reason, even in this rough spot, still looks so comfortable.
Recovery after recovery after recovery from Crockie. Can't find the gravity cancel setup. But was that enough? Stingray can't recover. Game number 2. Now flip-flops back into the hands of Crockie and TruckStop. I gotta say, big turnaround there. The damage applied from Crockie, 480, still shadowed by the fact that TruckStop nearly approached 600.
Yeah, it was quite a showing, especially after, I would say, a pivotal moment of Cosolix going for a little too much, a little too often in that second stock. Blue team kept the cool and just capitalized whenever possible. And I have to say, like, the punishes were just looking so good in the last half of that game. Some good stuff. May have to see a big adjustment from red team, and it looks like we are going to get some adjustment in terms of a legend switch.
Love this change.
Okay.
The Bryn I thought was a really good choice. It's good in theory, but the signatures are a little bit more linear compared to other legends that have come out far later on, and I think Rayman, now finally having the appearance of gauntlets, more true to the meta right now, is a big step up to dismantle Crockie in these aerial setups too. The gauntlets, a great counter for the Lance in these situations. It disenfranchises Blue team, prevents them playing together, and now takes the game to a brutal 1v1.
Yeah, Cosolix kind of getting beat up on the left-hand side. Stingray was trying to force an issue, but unable to. And,
Cosolix?
yeah. Someone check on Cosolix. I think we'll be all right, though. Still plenty of game to be had. Still putting that pressure on, but we are going to have a little bit of extra credit to look for after that rare miss on the first stock. But TruckStopBurrito, just so many big hits, all the right options right now.
Crockie didn't hit the down air. Stingray was there for the ground pound reply. Crockie was so fresh into the stock that they barely got adjusted at all. And there's a double KO for the Macho Man again. TruckStop, true to the burrito wonder, juicy and delicious, and so are the KOs.
Now back to neutral here. This could be huge for red team if they get a couple more of these big hits with the axes. Downsig not going to do it. Still putting the pressure on here. Cosolix without a weapon though, but Stingray still picking it up.
Cosolix has been underperforming in this game 3. Lance firmly in the hands now of that player. Crockie, still good for that first stock, has yet to go down, and not a single player on red team has been actively targeting them.
Yeah.
Up until now. Caster's Curse.
Even that kind of felt like I'll take it, like a pickup, not necessarily like going after Crockie. That, however, felt targeted, still putting that pressure on, and the ground pound as well. Gonna seal the deal. TruckStopBurrito going down to the last stock, and now a lot of damage. Big difference, but the stock count is at least a little even.
Absolutely. Both Macho Men now down to their final stock. Not for much longer, though. We have Stingray accompanying us as well. And possibly soon Crockie. TruckStop's in a very precarious spot on the ledge guard. Stingray setups with the axe. Great for the nair. Crockie with the response. A side air comes by. But out of nowhere, Rayman now with the setups. This is Stingray fully woken up.
That was
far different from the Bryn pick.
Such a huge pickup too. Not exactly how I expected the match to go, but taking that stock off a TruckStopBurrito makes it so that Crockie has to do it all on their own. And you know, we've talked about it so many times. We've seen some cool plays in these situations, but it is so rough, especially when you have some big punishes waiting on every side of your little mistakes.
Great recovery there from Cosolix. It sends Crockie now down to their final stock. One single hit from either one of red team will send them away, bringing things a 1v1 for Crockie. Speaking of which, though, maybe not so much one, but Cosolix comes pretty dang close. Setups are there for the ground pound. Cosolix, a miracle play to survive yet another recovery from Crockie. Unable to pick up a weapon. A complete starvation, preventing Crockie from doing much until now. Ground pound, stifled by Stingray, doesn't send Cosolix away, but the side air does. Now down to this 1v1. Red and red. Anything will determine how this series plays out. Stingray needs this. The adjustment away from the Bryn, now to the Rayman. The hammer is out and now unarmed. Crockie needs the speed, the momentum, the pressure mounted, but Stingray keeps taking space. Off stage though, for the ledge guard. The side air comes by! And Stingray, Cosolix, they take the lead back.
The spacing on that was so phenomenal. Like pixels of difference. Unbelievable stuff. I was a little worried because I thought that Crockie was maybe focusing Cosolix a little too much in that 2v1, but it ended up working out. It just was down to the smallest bit of spacing. Really good stuff from Stingray to pick it up, but unbelievable stuff from Crockie to keep it so close in such a treacherous spot.
I wonder if we have a second to go back to the stats too. I want to see the damage stats coming out from Macho Man there, because I think, yeah, thank you so much, production. How much damage did Cosolix do that last game? Because remember, that second stock went down unbelievably early. And now, well, it's just group-wide stats. That's perfectly fine. I feel like the majority of that... Oh, no, I'm sorry. Okay, it was 300. Yeah, pretty much 300 coming out from Cosolix there. Small graph shows the first two stocks from Cosolix. Really not a great showing. But I think this will benefit Cosolix here a lot going into game number 4. Demon, such a long stage. This is perfect for the Lance.
Yeah, I think we'll definitely see some improvements. We'll definitely see some big Lance damage come in already, spacing everybody out. Red team trying to hold down the center stage with big opening for blue team here. I like Stingray trying to help out, but still not too bad. Blue team fighting back. Ooh, big dodge from Stingray and another huge reversal. Whoa.
Oh no! TruckStop accidentally saves Stingray. It's like a drowning maneuver. If you go and try to save somebody that's drowning, they'll try to drag you down with them.
Right.
Similar to what we had just seen. Great spot dodge. TruckStop may have just inadvertently saved their own stock there doing so.
Crockie with a really good pickup there. Keep the pressure onto Cosolix, catching that recovery with the Lance. Cosolix with the axe, and both red team members looking a little worse for wear here.
And we went back to the stats just before this game to look at Cosolix and how little they were having that survivability for stocks 1 and 2 in last game. And now Stingray performing the same exact maneuver down to their final stock already. What are we, like a minute in?
Barely.
We're a minute 20
over.
in.
Yeah. Unfortunate for red team. Blue team, though, will definitely take it, still putting the pressure on. Looking for some big damage on Cosolix, and oh my goodness, TruckStopBurrito looking for a big hit. Almost taking the stock from Stingray, even at such little damage.
Like a Crockie. Consistently throughout the entire set. The last one to lose that first. Able to maintain this so well and effective. Does leave TruckStop sometimes on an island, but those setups are always there. Of course, as I say that, setup 2, both evading upwards and downwards away from the weapon throw. TruckStop now down to their final stock. Crockie maintaining that first. Eventually does fall, but it's okay. Plenty of damage has already been done. Stingray needs to avoid anything from TruckStop here.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. You're probably just looking for the stray hits. You can't really get started on any combos of your own because the teammate will be there to punish. Looking for the ground pound already. Crockie putting the pressure on here on the left side. TruckStop opening up the stage, though. Really good support and a big pickup from Crockie, taking it. And Cosolix now the last hope of the red team here in game 4.
And remember, this is elimination bracket in top 16. If Cosolix can clutch this up, they move forwards in the turn limit, but I spoke too soon. We're going to game 5.
Unbelievable, and frankly, not what I expected going into this set, but what a show they put on. Going to game 5, both of these teams now have to face the fact that this is it. It's all or nothing here, going in to try and make it to that top 8 qualifier. I want to see whatever legend you think wins you this game in that legend select. The stats also coming out too. Look at that damage from TruckStopBurrito. Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. Well, let's take a real quick as we get into the last and final game here. I want to see the stock line stats again, the graph. This is one of the most interesting ones to see. Yeah, look at that tiny little blip from Stingray there. Really not a good second stock, and that's been a consistent issue for red team. We've seen, I would say, at least 3 out of 5 games, an instance where Cosolix or Stingray have lost that first or second stock so quickly, and it just ended up hurting them so much in the long run.
Right. Especially when you're playing against Crockie, who's been holding on to the stock so long. Sometimes you're on your last, and Crockie's still on the first. Definitely can't let that happen too often. Definitely can't let it happen now here in game 5. Already fighting back, though. Stingray on the back foot and losing the stock. Yikes. That's all I can say.
This is getting a lot of shades of game number 4 here. A lot of offstage potential, though. Stingray is not going to evade. choosing to play directly next to Cosolix in battle here. It's game number 5. A warrior sacrifice. TruckStop's not much better for wear, though. Yeah, I like it too. I like it when they're not playing an evasive game, when you're able to actually just bounce off of each other and go for big setups. That's where I think truly makes a great 2v2 team. But then your Cosolix, you take these 1v1s, and TruckStop goes so far away, and there's no chance of recovery. A big overextension from Cosolix, and I don't know if the call was there for Stingray to go and try to save them. I'm not sure, but regardless, there hasn't been a lot of team chemistry for Red Team.
Ooh, hold on though. There has been when it matters in moments just like that. That was just a nice pickup.
We can talk about that in the post game, but I wouldn't even say that's team chemistry. I think that's just Stingray popping off.
We'll take it. We'll take it. But
well, yeah, sure. Sure. I mean, look, they're in the lead. That's all that matters right now to them. Stingray needs to be very careful, or it will turn into a raw, even game. Focusing up on TruckStop, I think, is a smart move. Stingray now without a weapon. Crockie can't find the follow-up. Does fall eventually. And Stingray, Cosolix, lance in hand. Can't do much. Forced to evade the ground pound from TruckStop. It's Lance versus Lance.
Blue team makes it so hard to evade, though. Their setups have been phenomenal. You dodge one hit, you have another one waiting for you right behind. It's been really tough right now, and that's probably why these red stocks are flying as they have been throughout the set. But right now, blue team fighting back, putting that damage on. Stingray looking pretty rough right now.
There's the save.
Oh.
That's what we were looking for before. Cosolix saves Stingray's life at the cost of his own, keeping the series alive. Oh, TruckStop and Stingray. Stingray! What are you doing?
No, not like this. Cosolix putting everything on the line to save that stock, only for Stingray to say no thank you. And now a rough 2v1, but the Lance user of all time, and one of my wonderful co-commentators have said, if anyone can make it happen, it's got to be Cosolix.
I don't even know what to say at this point. What a devastating end to this series. What looked so promising, with a huge comeback in game number 1, a big gigantic turnaround. A game 5 though, to the very bitter end. Consistent mismanagement of stocks through and through from Cosolix and Stingray. Great individual performances, but AG, just so little opportunities to find real teamwork between them.
Yeah, even what I would frankly consider a pretty okay team combo. I was so excited to see shades of that because there's such a lack of those wonderful electrifying team moments that we usually see from that quality of player. But you know, it's how the tournaments go. There will be more in the future to bring it back, but unfortunately today was not the day for Stingray and Cosolix, but it definitely was for Crockie and TruckStopBurrito, making a wonderful statement and a great showing, moving on in the rest of the elimination bracket.
Absolutely, and again, moving on is the big important factor here. All of these teams at this point, such good players, and maybe a bit of an off day for Stingray and Cosolix, but I'm sure in the future they'll be bringing it back for 1v1s and 2v2s. But AG, that marks the end for us in our line of casting for all of Winters, essentially.